All right, so today we have the amazing opportunity to hang out with Brandi. And Brandi is actually going to be sharing with us today how to use her Wacom tablet that she's got. I have a bamboo one, and I haven't had a lot of success with it. And this is why I've asked Brandi to share her experience, success, how she uses it, and kind of give us some demos. So we know all the ins and outs of how to use this amazing resource. And
yeah, so when I got started, I have a Surface Pro and I have a laptop. And so it was very difficult to use the trackpad on my laptop to interact with my students. And so what I ended up using is I used my Surface Pro as my writing tablet because I could connect to, and at the time I used Scribbler, so I could connect to the Scribbler site using my Pro, and that was on my lap. And then I had my laptop for the video conferencing, which was okay, but it wasn't the best situation. I made it work.
It sounds kind of like a lot going on.
It was, yes, it was, yeah, because I had to, she signed on with Scribbler on my device, and then I could, it hooked up through Skype on my laptops because that's where the camera was. But, and so that's how I connected. I was like using two devices for one purpose. Mm-hmm. And I knew that there was another way out there. I had seen, tablets galore. My mom is an artist, so I've seen her use a Wacom tablet. And so for me, you're drawn to what you know. And mm-hmm. so I knew that my mom had success with the Wacom tablets. So I was like, okay, well, but I also knew that they could be pricey. Mm-hmm. So I went on the hunt to find something that was affordable that I could use. Something that also had to be easy for my students to use as well. Because for me, this was going to be something that I could give to my clients as well so that they would be able to use that paper pencil just like they're in the classroom. And then you can see it being written on the screen. And that was my purpose. So not only was I trying to find a solution for me, but I was also trying to head off what I knew was going to be a stumbling block for my students on the other end. Mm-hmm. And after research, upon research, I found a Wacom tablet that was fairly inexpensive. And I used the Intuos. I use the Wacom tablet. The one that I use is the Intuos Art, and it's the small version. It's about 8 1/4 inches wide by 6 5/8 inches. Now that top piece that you see, it's almost like a flag. Your pens can slip in there. So when the pen is stowed away, it's actually about 7 inches in height, which is nice because it's very small. Those dots that you see on there, what that is it maps out to your screen. So the farthest white dot from top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right is the area that you'll be able to write on your screen. On this particular model, they also have like 4 buttons on the top left and the top right. These you can interchange more for what I find is for the art students who are toggling back and forth from one application to another. Some that are like double clicks, you can actually change those to meet your needs. I don't mess with any of that because I don't need it. You can also, there's a nibs on the pen. So you write similar to pen and paper. Well, these over time, they rub up against the tablet and create friction. Well, that friction reduces the size of that nib. So Wacom has included 3 extra nibs for you. One comes with the pen. And right on the back there, you can see that there's a spot. Once you take off the bottom, the cover, you take off that cover, you can change out the nibs, as you see that there's 3 there, and then a place for you to take out the nib, because it's a little hard to get to. You can use a pair of tweezers, but they have a place where you can do that. It comes wired, so you can connect it directly into your USB port. I would download the drivers first for that Wacom tablet if you choose to use it before plugging it into your computer. I think some sometimes it's just easier. The computer has a better time at recognizing new equipment when the driver's already downloaded. That's the success that I've had. Some people will not just go ahead and plug it in, and their computer automatically recognizes it, which is an awesome feature as well. Now, for those that don't like to be wired in, Wacom also has a wireless kit adapter for it. So it comes with a battery. It comes with your the wireless piece and the dongle. And so you will plug the dongle or the receiver into your USB port, and it can connect wirelessly that way so that you are not wired in. The wireless kit is about 15 hours battery life, depending on the size tablet that you use. So I was using mine today, and it goes, the light flashes like, you don't have enough battery here. So I just plugged it in. So no big deal. It's like, it's almost like there wasn't a missed step between going from wireless to plugging it in and being wired in, which is really nice. You don't have that, new device connected or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the website, wacom.com, does have your drivers. You just select the particular Wacom tablet that you have and download the drivers for that. And this is the website for the drivers. Some of the ways that I use it here, this is on a PowerPoint slide. What I have done is I use my Wacom tablet to do all my drawing with. And I can color in shades. I can make all kinds of geometric shapes. As you can see here, this is an exercise that I do use. So, write how much is shaded. So they'll see how many parts there are, how many of those parts are shaded. And they having a Wacom tablet, we can actually write on here, go, okay, well, this is 5 out of 6. So you can write directly on it. One of the things I really like with Zoom is that, like Brian was talking about yesterday, it's like a glass. It's like it's almost like a bulletin board that has glass over it. And you're not editing the actual document. You're just writing over it. You're not destroying the original, which is a nice feature. That way you can have your master and you can keep going. You're never messing it up. If you have your students, that you have a folder for each of those students, then you can save that into each of your students' folders and just kind of keep going. Mm-hmm. One of the wonderful things I like about PowerPoint is that it picks right back up where the slide that you left off. It could be a week ago. It could be a couple weeks ago. If you click on that slide, it says, oh, you're on slide 6. Click on that and you're ready to go for that next session, which is one of the things I really like about PowerPoint. Another thing that I like about the Wacom tablet is, this is just another example that I use. I can have enough space in here where my students can write. So they'll find the area, they will find area 1, and then they'll find area 2, and then they can do all their work right in this space. I sometimes let my students check when they get it correct, or they're on the right path. Some of my students really like making their own check marks, so they can check their stuff. And I'll go through and say, yes, I agree with this, and I agree with this, and let's work right in here, right in this space where they didn't quite connect the dots. This is just another example where the students here, for this particular example, my students get to, so I'm trying to move you guys out of the way to see it. When we're working with T-tables, so you take all this information, they figure out, okay, how many people in this particular case consider it a table? Well, if we add another table, how many people does that grow by? So now how many people consider that table? Well, if we increase that table, add another table to it, how many more people consider this table? So you take all that information to one nice, neat space called a T-table. And so they can fill out that information. They can take the information that they visually see and arrange it into a chart that they can write on. So table 1 can seat 4 people. So they can see this, how it's playing out. And I'll create these ahead of time, but my students can write with their tablet on it. So what it does is it allows me to see what's happening in their minds and trying to organize information, because that's one of the biggest things with math, right? Is that if we can't see how they're organizing their information, we don't know what they're thinking. So this is almost like a snapshot into how they're thinking. Can they put it down on paper in an organized manner? So I like to use, this is something that I like to use. It helps me to get an insight into how they're thinking. I draw shapes with this. So this particular case, I was showing them that if you had a triangle and a rectangle, if you split that triangle, could it become the same area? So we were talking about area here. And so I have a successive PowerPoints that shows that when you turn that and flip it over, it is the same area that takes up the same amount of space. So there's just a couple of ways that I use my pen, my tablet, my Wacom tablet, with PowerPoint, and then of course with Zoom, because this Zoom is the video conferencing. Now this was an example. We actually did this yesterday. So this is an example of my student. So Zoom has the option of taking a screenshot. And so that's what I did yesterday. I took a screenshot of our session yesterday. And so this shows his work. So it shows the questions. It shows his work. It shows that some of the areas that he may not have understood. And so we went through how to just kind of refresh on how to multiply decimals. So it's helping him to organize information. So I can see how he's thinking.
So he's writing on here. Is he writing also with his own tablet that you have provided, or have his parents purchased this?
I provided it to him. Now, this particular tablet that he is using is a Huion tablet, but it works the same. So I was trying to figure out finding another alternative to the Wacom tablet. And so this tablet that he is using that I gifted to him is a Huion tablet. I have another student that does use a Wacom tablet that I have gifted to him as well. And so both of my students are using tablets to communicate math. And then, so we could also take a screenshot of the whiteboard. And so we were doing some things on a whiteboard on having to quickly do some mental math techniques, because I think that sometimes, we get so caught up in I say basic stuff, but the multiplication, addition, subtraction, and we don't quite have that understanding there, that it catches us when we're trying to do more difficult, harder tasks at hand. So I was working with him on trying to get these more of a second nature, less thought. And so this is one of the things that we're working on as well. So you could see that I just threw up six problems, and he was working on it on the whiteboard with his tablet that he has.
And how old is the student?
He's a rising 8th, so he's in 8th grade. So he's 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, 13, 14. So did you find that it was really easy for him to be able to learn this tablet, how to use it?
Oh, very, very much so. He was like, oh, this is awesome. He was just elated when he could use it, and he uses it all the time. So he will actually, on paper pencil, do some of the math out, and then he'll write it on the tablet. But he loves his tablet.
Very cool. Do the students have to install any software for their tablets to work?
The only thing they have to install is the drivers. So with the Huion in particular, I made a little quick video tutorial on how to download the drivers, how to install it on your computer. Wacom is the same. You'll just go to the website, wacom.com/support, click on drivers, and then click on the tablet that you have chosen, and then just download those. And it's then from there, it's pretty much plug and play.
Oh, wow. That seems so easy. Go to the website, download this, and you're good to go.
Yes, it is very easy. And what I do is I will send my my parents a sheet. Says, okay, do these steps. Or I'll send a video that I've made showing them exactly how to do it. So it's me explaining it how, they've already have a connection with me. So I've sent a video, a link to one of my videos that's posted up on YouTube. I have it private so that no one else can see it, but so I share the link with them so they can see it, and it shows them exactly step by step how to download that driver.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. So PowerPoint, one of the things is that since I wrote on this document, when I escape out of it, it says, do I want to keep the annotations or discard them? So if I'm writing on it using the PowerPoint annotations, then I can choose to keep it or not. I do keep it because it does help me to, not only does it help me keep my placement with my documents, but if I've had to make a correction or something like that, it just helps me keep up with my notes. So this particular case, this is a presentation, so I'll just discard my, my annotations. But one of the other things too, how I use it with my students is that I will also have worksheets up. So for example, I will go ahead and share my screen again. So if we were working with this T-tables, my students can easily come in with their pen and start to, as long as I share it. Yeah, so what we'll do is they'll come in and go into Annotate, and they'll choose Draw. And then they can come in here and start writing all over this, all over this worksheet that is there for them. So they'll see, okay, in figure 1, there is 4 squares. So here what we're doing here was we're learning sequencing. And so they go, okay, in figure 1, how many squares are there? So there's 4. In figure 2, okay, in figure 2, there's 6 squares. So they're learning this idea of skip counting, which is like that low, with their introduction into sequencing. But we can scroll up. If you take you can select your mouse and you can just scroll up. Should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Where'd it go? There we go. My Wacom tablet's actually not. Okay, cool. So I can scroll up. But you see, it didn't actually mess up the document because the how is staying exactly where I placed it. So I will just clear that off. I can clear all drawings. As the host or the person that's sharing the screen, you can actually clear off all the drawings, your drawings, or the user's drawings. So if my student is interacting with me and they've made a mistake and they're like, oh, can you get rid of that? I was like, absolutely. So I can just clear off their drawing. That way it's like an eraser. Sometimes they have access to an eraser and sometimes they don't. It's a small little quirk, but I work around it. One of the things that I have found with, and I don't think it's just the Wacom tablet, but if I have a shared screen like this and my student is writing on it, sometimes their writing may not be, if they want to write, let's see here, a 6 in this circle here, this 6 may actually end up way over here. And so not a big deal. It's a little frustrating, but it's not too big a deal. So what I would do is I could select what they wrote. I can actually select their annotation and move it to where they wanted it to.
The things that you learn as you go, right?
Yeah, it really is. Because actually I was chatting with Brian a little bit yesterday, and he goes, I didn't even know that you could move annotations. It's like, yeah, you can. I mean, so it's nice. I mean, so anyone right now that maybe have a tablet with them or I think you can even write with the mouse. You guys can actually write on there, and I can move it.
Nice.
Yeah. So you see that doesn't move. So I can clear all my drawings.
So if I want, so here's me now. If I wanted to draw something, I can just draw it on there.
Yes, you can. Yes. And if that's not where you wanted it, I can go ahead and highlight it and move it for
Very
you.
cool.
Yeah. Let's see. So I think those are pretty much some of the ways that I use it.
That's awesome.
Again, I have another, with some of the particular settings in the Wacom. I don't know if you guys can still see my screen, probably, maybe. Do you guys see the application that's up with the Wacom tablet, or is that something I'm seeing?
We see a gray box.
Okay, so you don't. Okay, so you probably don't see that yet. Oh, that's okay. All right. Where is I? Okay, cool. Right. So those are some of the ways that I use my Wacom tablet, as well as my students. They use their Wacom tablet or Huion device. It's just a writing tablet. It's an art tablet that I have managed to use in a way that will help me see into my students' minds and how they're thinking about math.
Ah, and I see somebody spelled Huion down here. Huion.
Correct. Yes.
That's good. That is really, really good to know. And then Linda wanted to know, is this an Android or Windows device? Does it matter? What devices does the Wacom tablet or the Huion work with?
The Wacom, I know, definitely works with Windows devices. I have it. I can hook it up to my Pro. I can hook it up to my laptop. My students have a laptop or a computer, and those are non-Apple devices. The Huion tablet, particularly, I do know that you can download that to an Apple device. In the drivers, there is a Windows device or an Apple device. So I'm not sure if the Wacom, I'm sure with as large as Wacom is, Wacom probably does have a driver for the Apple devices as well.
Awesome. And it just seems like such an amazing tool to be able to utilize and be able to get work done on both sides. I know even it doesn't work just with math, but I know like a lot of people have always wanted like spelling and that kind of stuff. This really opens up the doors to be able to do that. How much does the Wacom cost, and how much does the Huion cost? Did you find out that information at all?
Yes, so the Wacom tablet, which is the one I have, like I said, I have the small one, and right now it's wired. Actually, I can unplug it and make it wireless. I just had it charging. This one here, the small one runs about, I think it's like $79.99 on Amazon. The light blue one, this one comes in two colors. The light blue one is actually $99.99. So depending upon your color preference will also depend on price.
Oh, they get us girls every time. They know we're so particular on color, man.
Yes, they do. They do. Now the Huion tablet is a little bit larger than the small Wacom. This is the Huion.
Okay.
And this one I believe runs something around $9.99, and this is the Huion 680S. Okay.
How much? The 680
with $49.99, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It's almost half. It is almost half of the Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
But this does not have the option of being wireless. So this is a wired device,
okay,
which may or may not matter for some of you. Some people don't like being wired. And so this would not be a good fit for them. But if you don't mind it, then this would work out wonderfully.
Yeah.
The 680 is actually interesting because it's 6 inches or 8 inches by 6 inches. So this is your writing space on the Huion tablet. As large as it is, your writing space is in this here, and it's denoted by the corners there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And that, the Huion pen is just like this. And this is basically, it's like a traditional pen. You just click it and it activates it. It'll turn it on. Also, it has a tip that you can replace as well.
Okay, some great resources that are out there. Christine mentioned Scribbler that she loves to be able to use. And I also know that you were trying Scribbler. You were just having issues with Scribbler being able to work the way you wanted it to work.
Yes, I am naturally a small writer. I don't write large. And so for me, I always felt that the pixelation was off. My I's were never dotted. My O's were never closed. My E's, just a lot of things for me, my numbers, my 2's weren't coming out right. So I personally had a lot of issues with Scribbler. And I think some of it had to do with the fact that I just wrote small. The other, it's just, so for me, it just didn't mesh well with me. And
yeah,
that's okay.
And
there's a ton of resources out there.
Yeah, everybody's going to find the resource that's going to fit for them. So by any means,
Sure.
any of these resources that we suggest for people, it's just to give you an idea of what resources are out there that you guys can be able to utilize. I think Scribbler is a fantastic tool as well. And I really like, what I really like right now about Zoom is that ability to be able to go on in and be able to write on there. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do one thing right now. I'm going to open up the whiteboard for us to share, and we're going to try this out. But write one compliment for Brandi on our whiteboard. So I've got the whiteboard up. Now I just have the Surface Pro, so I can just write on my screen. So I got the easiest of it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm actually go back wired.
I love this because we can, we are all here to build each other up, right? We're all here to build each other up. We are all running, our online tutoring businesses. It can get to be a very lonely place out there, and it doesn't have to be. We can all work together, so and build each other up and support each other in our online tutoring businesses. Hey there, so what you've just seen is an excerpt from the Insider Secrets Club. We are a group of online tutors that get together and we answer other people's questions that they have about online tutoring, and we brainstorm together. Along with, we have book clubs and we have live conferences for online tutors to learn how to run an online tutoring business. If you are interested in joining us, we are on Facebook. You can join us at the Ultimate Support Group for Online Tutors. Along with, if you're interested in getting more videos just like this, hit subscribe so that you can stay up to date on the latest with online tutoring.